Hey there, good Friday afternoon. I'm NBC Connecticut Storm Tracker meteorologist Alexis Clemens. We have a lot to discuss. We have some new updates in our forecast as we have been really sifting through all of the model data these last several hours. We do want to give you the updates here as it comes in, because we are now using the term nor'easter, because that is what is expected to move and form across the region here as we go towards late Sunday and into Monday. And it has the potential to provide some heavy snow and some really strong winds. I don't know if that is the word that everybody wants to hear this time of year after what has been such a busy season for us, but potential is getting a little bit larger for us. There's still a lot that can change, but we want to give you the latest now and give you the opportunity to chat with us. Give us any questions that you might have on both Facebook and YouTube, and I will answer that to the best of my ability. But we're going to start with the latest information for you here. Let me go ahead and pull up all of our information. So we're still, obviously, it's still active right now, right? We've got this wintry mix through the rest of your Friday. It's been pretty consistent. Nice rain with some sleet, some icy conditions we have heard have been in, especially our hill towns. So we're watching that right now. There's also a chance for a couple of spotty snow showers this weekend. So as you're out and about this weekend, you might run into some flurries here and there. Not a huge deal if you're out and about. Should be okay on the roads for the most part. Just anything that's untreated, just tread very carefully, right? Because we've had this rain today. Anything that's untreated, as temperatures drop just a little bit, we're hovering around that freezing mark there. So just be careful, watch your step as we go through the weekend. But late Sunday there, we are monitoring the chance for a nor'easter to get just a little too close for comfort. And that's what we're going to be tracking as we go through. That is Sunday night and into Monday. Monday looks to be kind of an impactful day out there. So that's kind of what we're watching for: heavy snow and wind. So I wanted to give you this. We have a winter storm watch now in effect for southern Connecticut. So here's what's changed. Basically, our track of this system for Monday shifted further to the west, closer to us, right? So that brings us a better chance for those higher amounts of snow and those strong winds. This is a classic nor'easter setting up for us. We're going to see a nice northeasterly wind as we go through Monday. The timing can still change a little bit, and the track can still change. But now we've seen consistent model runs over the last several hours here, over the last about 12 to 18 hours, that are really pulling in some good data for this system to impact certain areas here. So I wanted to kind of show you, we don't have our specific snow map out just yet because things can very much change, and our snow maps spread like wildfire. So we want to wait for just a little more model data to come out, but we're going to be paying attention to this very closely. But I'll tell you right now, winter storm watches, they don't go into effect unless there is a high potential for over 6 inches of snow. So just giving you that potential right there. So National Weather Service in New York City believes that southern Connecticut there, the southern counties, have a good chance of seeing over 6 inches of snow. So to give you an idea, when we do put out our snowfall maps, those areas there would likely see over 6 inches of snow. Just giving you that update. We're kind of thinking that 6-inch threshold along into the southeast of I-84. So just telling you that right now. Also show you this, because this just kind of shows you again where the highest hitting areas are expected to be. We're still expecting that to be a little bit further to our east and southeast. You can see some that bright pink there, just south of Boston, into the Cape there, the islands. That seems to be where the hardest hit areas will be. But that dark purple gets pretty close to us, parts of the Jersey Shore, parts of Long Island, maybe even squeezing into parts of eastern and southeastern Connecticut there. So this just again shows us that this would be a pretty big system. Now, my threshold for big snow systems this year is we have to look back to what happened what was it, almost a month ago now. Can you believe it's been almost a month, almost 4 weeks since our big snowstorm, right? This is actually a very different setup here because it's not a dry snow. It's going to be a wet, heavy snow. And we're going to see some really strong winds involved here, which we didn't really see with the last one. So this is just a very different setup, but I think it has the potential to be just as impactful. And I think that's the best way to describe it for you. So we're going to give you the latest. Again, this is as of Friday afternoon. I'm doing this at 3:14 p.m. We're giving you the latest here when it comes to timing and impacts. So what we're expecting right now, and again, this is subject to change, but right now, I do think the worst of it comes Monday morning. That's kind of what I'm seeing. But we're not entirely, there's not a lot of consensus with that system just yet. But we are going to be watching the timing of this system closely. But I can tell you right now, I think that Monday morning commute would be most impacted there. I think that's safe to say at this point. It's really a Sunday night into Monday ordeal. By Tuesday, we should be doing okay. Sunday morning, Sunday in the midday hours, if you have any plans there, you might run into a couple little snow showers, but you should be just fine. It really comes Sunday night with this system here. Again, it's still a little too far out and we're not seeing full consensus here. So keep tuning in as it gets closer. We'll really be able to fine tune this system. But right now, I can tell you with a good amount of certainty that the highest impacts that we do see from this system would likely come Monday morning. So that is kind of what we are watching for there. That's when the heaviest of the snow would be. I also wanted to show you what we're talking about here in terms of this Monday system here. Snow removal. Probably this looks like it's going to be plowable, wet snow. And our ice melt will work, but doesn't work very well with this much snow coming as heavily as it is expected. So we are expecting snow removal to be an issue, but definitely have that ice melt ready to go really all weekend long with the system that we've got going on here. Temperatures are dipping a little below freezing, so anything that's untreated would be a little bit of an issue. So just sprinkle a little bit of ice melt through the weekend. High winds, definitely a possibility. Unfortunately, that could lead to some power outages. I know everybody always asks about that. We can't really predict those, but I will say high winds are a good bet, and this is going to be a heavier snow for us, so we will be watching that closely. Low visibility is a big concern because of the heavy snow and the strong winds through Monday, so that's going to be something to watch as well. We're not really tracking icy conditions at this point. It looks to be mostly just a snow event for us, but any time that anything melts, it would, anything would refreeze each night, so we'll have to watch that, of course, as well. So that's kind of what we're watching. I do want to talk a little bit about what's happening right now because I think it's relevant to, because it's obviously impactful. This is what's happening right now. Ask any questions that you might have here on Facebook and YouTube. I'll be happy to answer them to the best of my ability. But because I don't think I'm seeing any at the moment. But let me know. But your satellite and radar right now, this is at 3:17 p.m. Eastern on your Friday. It's just been kind of a gross day out there. We started here in West Hartford, started as some big fat snowflakes. Then it transitioned to a little bit of sleet. Sleet's those ice pellets that you can hear as they come down on your windshield. Now rain's trying to take over, but we do have a couple of sleet pellets mixing in. And I'm also watching, let me go back to see how temperatures are doing right now because I want to see if we still have some sub-freezing temperatures in parts of those hill towns, and we do. So anywhere that you've got that blue shading, there's going to be a threat for any of that rain that's coming down to freeze on untreated surfaces especially. I'm hoping that most of our surfaces have been treated, but of course they're always, always that chance. So just watch your step with what we've got going on right now. Let me go ahead and go back to our satellite and radar again, just showing this system. I'm just going to make sure I'm not missing anything that's coming up here on all of this stuff. I think we're doing all right so far. That's good. But yeah, here's that system, and it's just been kind of a consistent little guy for us for sure. Oh, there are comments. I'm just not, it's not popping up on here. Okay, well, I see them all now. Sorry, I hadn't seen them. Okay, perfect. Now we are looking. Somebody's asking if these would constitute as blizzard conditions. I think we get close. I really do. Blizzard conditions are when visibility with heavy snow is creating low visibility below a quarter of an inch of quarter of a mile of visibility for several hours, and that could very well be a possibility for Monday. So we are going to watch that closely. Not sure why my comments aren't popping up here on my website, but I'm looking at my phone right now what all of you are saying, and I am seeing that. How much are we talking about right now? Let me go ahead and go back to, sorry, I'm just now seeing all of this right now, so I apologize. It's not popping up for me, but I am doing my best to look at everything that you guys are asking. Let me go back to our winter storm watch. Hang on just a second. Actually, let me go back to this map here. Eventually, if things will load. Right now, we do think the southern, and at least the southern and eastern part of the state have a good chance to see at least 6 inches. A foot might not be too far away. So we are going to have to keep an eye on that. It's a little too early to talk about exact timing and totals because this system can track back and forth as it has been. It's kind of wobbling, but we are kind of thinking that this is going to be impactful. People are asking about timing. We are looking at the timing for this to kind of starting up in the Sunday afternoon and evening hours, but the worst impacts would be felt late Sunday night into Monday morning, and it would slowly taper through Monday. Let's actually just go ahead and show you a look at the current current future satellite and radar. I'll also talk about today as well. I'm very upset that my comments aren't popping up here, but that's okay. Oh, here we go. Oh, I found them. Here we go. We figured it out. Technology is great. All right, let me see if we can go on back. All right. Okay. So let me show you a look at your future satellite and radar, and then I'll go through all of your comments. I apologize that I'm just now seeing them. We had an issue on my end, so that's on me. So here's a kind of a look. We've got Bob Maxon calls it snizzling, like when it's like snow drizzle, and that's a good way to describe what's happening as we go through the rest of the evening. So if you do have any evening plans for your Friday, just take it slow. Anything that's treated should be okay, but just watch your step, because anytime that we've got the precipitation we've got going on right now with temperatures like this, can be a little slippery out there. For the most part, I think major roads and highways are okay, but we are going to continue to just watch kind of just on and off rain, sleet, snow as we go through the day. There's a chance for a couple of spotty snow showers. It just kind of, it's spitting. I don't really know how else to describe it. Just kind of damp as we go through the weekend, on and off, the chance for a little bit of snow here and there. But here's where that impactful system starts to come into play. So we could see a little bit of snow by late Sunday, but it's really as we head towards the Sunday night hour and into Monday morning. That's kind of really when we're tracking the most impactful of this system. Somebody's asking what's the difference between the GFS and the Euro model. They're both starting to come together. I think they're both putting us back into the coastal low. Really, I mean, it's a nor'easter. We should call it what it is. It's nor'easter. They're starting to bring it really close to us. So there's the consensus there. When we have consensus between those two major models, that usually brings us some. It's usually a pretty good bet. But the question is, we just have to exactly see where that system is going to track as we go through the next few few days here. Is the blue bad for snow? Darker blue would be heavier snow for sure. Let me see how else. Let me look at what else we're looking at. Why does the National Weather Service weather watch the the winter storm watch? I'm assuming is what you're asking. Starting on Monday morning if the storm itself doesn't start till later in the day? That is a fantastic question, and I will answer it for you. Let me go ahead and put up that winter storm watch. Because, yeah, our winter storm watch technically goes into effect, I believe, 6 a.m. Sunday, and it's through 6 p.m. Monday, if I am not mistaken. And I think the reason why is while the European model and the GFS model, all of our models are very consistent are starting to be consistent in the track of this system, the timing is still up in the air. Because we've started to see a couple models coming in a little bit earlier, a couple models coming in a little bit later. So I think they just made it for Sunday into Monday, the expanded time, just to make sure that we're all on alert. If this is upgraded to a warning, we would have specific times a little bit closed in based on what we really expect to happen here. So yeah, I think Sunday morning is genuinely okay. As we head towards the afternoon hours, that's when we're going to have to watch this system. I do still expect the highest impacts to be felt Monday morning. The question is, though, how quickly does the system get going? The strongest winds will likely be here by Monday morning. But that's a great question about the winter storm watch. Let's see what else we've got here. Any accumulation predictions right now with the winter storm watch that is currently in effect for southern Connecticut? Winter storm watches don't go into effect unless we are thinking over 6 inches of snow. So that's kind of the threshold that we're starting at right now. And right now, again, we're not putting out a specific snow map just yet. We want to get one more data model run in just to make sure that everything's coming in. But we are expecting, I think, honestly, in that blue area there, a chance for 6 to 10, if not a foot. So that's kind of what we're watching right now. And that's going to be a long, and I think we might even see parts of Rhode Island and northern Rhode Island and maybe northeastern Connecticut added into that winter storm watch. We're going to have to watch that closely. But I know the shoreline has a very good chance of not just the wind and the snow, but we'll have to even watch maybe coastal flooding as well. And the Long Island protects us a little bit from that, but we will have to watch that closely, especially the closer you get to Rhode Island. So we're going to watch that. Is it possible it can change course? Absolutely. It absolutely can still. We're just now seeing this consensus on a Friday afternoon when this system will be here in a little over 48 hours. So that's a little concerning. We should be seeing consensus a little bit earlier than that. But here, we'll go ahead and show you. We'll compare the Euro and the GFS for you, just to get an idea of what we are looking at. So let me go ahead and grab this for you here. So here's this system. Here's the Euro. And when you see those little white lines over the rain, those are our pressure barbs. Once they get closer together, that means this system's getting really strong, and that would mean those stronger winds here. So we're watching that timing. So the Euro specifically doesn't really want to get things going until after about 9 p.m. or so. And I tend to agree. I tend to think it's more of a Sunday night into Monday morning ordeal. And I mean, look at that. That is a bomb cyclone forming. That's a classic nor'easter. We're going to see those northeast winds with that system there. So yeah, that's the European model. And it would likely start to wrap up by Monday afternoon. So again, Monday morning would likely be the hardest hitting time. Let's go ahead and take a look at the GFS. Let me grab that for you so we can compare the two. So here is the GFS. So this is kind of where the inconsistency lies, right? The track, pretty similar. It's the timing that's a little off because the GFS wants snow to start up maybe closer to the afternoon hours on Sunday. So that is why I think our watch has such a large time frame from Sunday morning to Monday night. But I really do at this point think that Sunday morning is okay. It's as we head towards the Sunday, really the evening hours that the system starts up. So there's still a little bit of uncertainty on the exact timing here, but I would say a start time between right now. I would say between Sunday 3 and 9 p.m. It's a larger period, of course. We'll be able to narrow that down as it gets closer, but that just gives you an update right now. And we'll have updates as we go through your Saturday and your Sunday as well. So we can keep you updated and give you the latest information as it comes in. We'll be on here, we'll be on air, we'll be online, wherever you find us. We'll give you those updates. Somebody says, I've seen blizzard talk on Facebook. What's your opinion? The official definition of a blizzard, based on National Weather Service and whether those warnings would come out, that's when I think winds are, it has to do a lot with visibility. Your visibility, I believe, has to be less than a quarter mile for several hours. I'm going to pull up the exact numbers because I always mix them up because my brain is just insane. But all right, so a blizzard warning is sustained winds or frequent gusts greater than or equal to 35 miles an hour, accompanied by falling or blowing snow, frequently reducing visibility less than a quarter mile for 3 hours or more. So, and I do think there's a very good chance of hitting that criteria by Monday morning. So, there's a very good chance. It's the wind this time that makes the big difference. That makes this different from the last snowstorm that we saw a few weeks ago, almost a month ago. Somebody said, what channel are you guys on? We are on channel 30, NBC. Right now, we've got Olympic coverage. I believe that's U.S. men's hockey. I'm watching it right now. But that's why we are on streaming. And we will go on TV after the game is done. I believe it is 1-0 right now for the USA winning. Yay. How much should we expect? We are looking at right now for parts of the state. Let me go ahead and go back to what one model is saying for snow. This is specifically for the European model here. That pink is greater than a foot. Actually, if in fact, I think that has the highest potential for a greater than a foot there. So we are really talking about roughly, I would say, a good bet right now. Again, this is preliminary. We don't have an official snow map out yet because we want just 1 or 2 more model runs to come in. But we're thinking 6 to 10, maybe even 12 inches. So closing in on a foot in some areas. We have to see exactly where this system wants to track, because if it moves a little bit further out to sea, it's going to take that potential with it. But impactful snow with those strong winds, visibility is going to be tough. So somebody's asking, will it affect schools on Monday? I would expect some school delays for sure, if not closings. I will say the further northwest that you go, so the closer you are to Litchfield County or in Litchfield County, a lesser chance for impactful snow, but still plowable and still going to see some issues there. Let's see. Somebody said, seriously? I know. Yeah, that's tough. I'm not too happy about it as well. Are we expecting more on the shoreline? Yeah. I would say right now that's your best bet for those higher totals. But I still think, let me actually go back to this graphic here, just again, showing you this alert for us. So this also shows you what's changed, right? The track of the system shifted a little bit further to the west. So that brings us a better chance for more snow. And we have a winter storm watch now in effect for our southern counties. If I had to make a bet, we might see Tolland and Windham County included on this as well, maybe even more of the state. But we're gonna be watching it closely. I think along and to the southeast of I-84 is going to be the best chance for over 6 inches for snow. And 6 inches, at least 6 inches of snow, that is the threshold for a winter storm watch to be issued. So that just shows you there. Somebody said, what's the temperature? Is this going to be a heavy wet snow? It is going to be a heavy wet snow. That's kind of what we're expecting with this one because temperatures are going to be in the upper 20s and lower 30s. It'd be a heavy wet snow and strong winds. We're talking wind gusts over 40 miles an hour. So the winter storm watch that is currently in effect is going to be here. The winter storm watch, the threshold for us here is 6 inches or more of snow and 40-mile-per-hour wind gusts. That is what we're expecting for quite a few hours as we go, especially I do expect the highest impacts to be felt Monday morning, but still some impacts by Sunday night and into Monday afternoon as well. The system's done by Tuesday morning. When would it start? We are expecting a start time by Sunday afternoon, really by the evening hours there is what we're watching for on Sunday. So if you have anything planned for Sunday morning, should be okay. We're just in a very active weather pattern right now. So we've got the moisture, we've got everything. So you might see a couple little snow showers here and there as we go through the weekend. And here, I'll even go ahead and show you this on our future radar. Somebody asked, so New London County is going to get smacked with a lot of snow. Yeah, New London County, unfortunately, looks like the highest potential for quite a bit of snow. Do we have an ETA on when it would stop Monday? I would say by the Monday evening hours. So it's almost kind of almost an all-day event for Monday. But the highest impacts on Monday morning, and then it slowly tapers through the afternoon. What else are we looking at? Let's see. Where there'll be sustained winds. Yes, sustained winds over 30, 40 miles an hour. This is going to be windy. This is a nor'easter that we're talking about here setting up. So quite the system, and it's going to be quite powerful, and it's just passing a little too close for comfort. It's moving closer and closer to us, providing this chance. Let's see. And people are asking, isn't that a blizzard? I mean, yeah, nor'easters will create blizzard-like conditions for us. So that's kind of what we're watching right now, that potential as we go through Sunday night and Monday. But I did want to show you a little bit of this weekend as well. Let me go ahead and just stretch this out for us. Sorry. Okay, so we've kind of, again, it's precipitating outside, right? We've got the rain, a little bit of sleet here through the afternoon and evening, mostly just wet, but some areas are seeing some icy conditions, especially in our hill towns, northwestern, northeastern Connecticut. You will notice there is a chance for a little bit of snow, just kind of bursts of little bit of snow at times through this weekend, but nothing really that impactful through the weekend. But just be prepared. It's cloudy. It's a little damp. It's a little gross as we go through this weekend. I think that's kind of overdoing it for late Sunday night or Saturday night into Sunday. But that's kind of what this weekend will look like. Just very spotty, very spotty. And then we are still, of course, looking at Sunday night into Monday. So other questions we've got. People are asking, isn't it a blizzard? With the blizzard conditions that we're kind of watching right now, that's a very, very good chance. But we don't have a specific blizzard watch or warning in effect just yet. And so much can still change with this system. So they're going to wait until it gets much closer. And we're much more confident about that for a blizzard warning to be issued. So nothing yet, but we're still going to watch it really closely. Let's see. Somebody said, just when I was finally seeing some yard, finally, after some snow was melting. Yeah, unfortunate for sure. What do temperatures look like? We are looking at the 30s for sure. Here, let me go ahead and show you the 10-day forecast. When was the last time Connecticut had 2 or more storms drop 12 inches or more in a single year? That is a great question. That is the next thing I'm going to look up because it is very interesting for sure. So you're saying it might be a blizzard with the winds? That's definitely a possibility for sure. It's a nor'easter, if that gives you any any indication here, we're definitely calling it a nor'easter, and that has the potential to provide blizzard-like conditions with the wind and that wet, heavy snow. So we're going to watch that really closely. Let's see. So this is your 10-day forecast. I mean, temperatures, yeah, we're looking at upper 20s, lower 30s here. That's a wet, heavy snow for the most part, and it's going to be rather windy. When will the snow start on Sunday? We are expecting it to start in the afternoon and evening hours. There's still there's not as much consensus on the exact start time of this system, but between 3 and 9 p.m., we've got that is when the start time would be, and I'm still expecting those worst impacts to be felt by Monday morning, and then it comes to an end by the Monday afternoon and evening hours. Let me just look up something for you real quick. Somebody's asking what's the difference between a nor'easter and a blizzard. It's honestly, a nor'easter doesn't always, it's when I'm trying to best explain it. Nor'easters can only happen here. Blizzards can happen everywhere. And it has a lot to do with, I mean, at the end of the day, they both provide heavy winds and usually a lot of snow. But it's nor'easters, that's just privy to our region, right? Like a nor'easter can't happen in the Midwest, but a blizzard can. So basically, nor'easters can create blizzards here. Not all the time, but it's possible. I don't know if that makes sense. I'm trying to think of the best way to describe it because it's just weather terminology. Could there be widespread power outages? That is unfortunately a possibility. Again, I'm trying to explain this the best way that I can. Right now, it's Sunday night into Monday is when we really have to keep this on our radar. Right now, we're telling you right now to put it on your radar. There's definitely a very good possibility that we can see some strong winds and heavy snow that would create some issues. You can see the chance for a couple of snow showers, some flurries on Saturday and even parts of Sunday. That's not impactful per se until we head towards Sunday afternoon, Sunday night. That's when the system becomes more impactful. And Monday really does look like it could be just really difficult for travel as well, with low visibility, strong winds, and that heavy snow. So that's kind of what we're watching. We wanted to jump on here just to give you the latest information. Before I go, I'll just, for the people that are just now joining, we'll give you the latest information for you. So what's changed? The track of this coastal low has shifted to the west, and it is forming up to be a classic nor'easter for us. So that's what we're watching, starting by the Sunday afternoon and evening hours and progressing through the Monday afternoon and evening hours. So I do think that the Monday morning commute would be most impacted, but impacts would be felt through Sunday night and through Monday. There's a winter storm watch for southern Connecticut right now. We could see that extended to more of the state as we go through tomorrow. But when a winter storm watch is issued, that means we have a very good likelihood for over 6 inches of snow. And this one specifically, we're looking at wind gusts over 40 miles an hour as well. And that combination can create really low visibility and tough conditions on the roads and tough for travel and for crews as well. So we are going to have to watch that very closely. What are potential amounts looking like for the shoreline right now? I think we're going to have to watch exactly where the system wants to line up, but I think a very good chance for amounts in that blue right there would be 6 to 10 inches of snow, potentially up to 12. That's what we're looking at right now. I know that is a very large range, but that's what we're watching right now because there's still a little bit of uncertainty with this exact system. So that's the first call here on your Friday afternoon. And I could see that 6 to 12 inch mark even making its way as far north as I-84. So that could include parts of Hartford and up to northeastern Connecticut as well. Areas further northwest would likely see lesser totals, but still impactful. But this can still change, but we're still expecting heavy snow and strong winds at times out, through parts of the state Sunday night into Monday. So again, that is the latest. Saturday in the day, is that okay? Yep, Saturday's fine. You might run into a couple of little snow showers here and there, some little flurries. Just it's a damp weekend. That's kind of the best way to describe it. There's moisture in the air. You could feel a couple of flakes, couple of raindrops through Saturday and Sunday. They're mainly okay, but it's by Sunday afternoon and evening. That's when this system comes back into play. And then by Monday morning, likely going to see some pretty hefty impacts. So just telling you now, I know a lot of people are probably finishing up their work week. They don't want to think about the next work week, but just letting you know right now, maybe before you head home this weekend, for the weekend, grab your laptop, whatever it might be, just in case you have to work from home on Monday, because this system does look like it would be impactful for commutes. Sounds like opposite day, the shoreline gets kind of blasted here. But yeah, even though the shoreline has the highest potential for this system, everybody in Connecticut likely will see snow and likely will see strongest winds. I'm just telling you the highest impacts would likely be felt at the shoreline and over eastern Connecticut as well, even up through 395 there. Somebody said, is this a bread and milk storm or should I get alcohol too? You do you, however you want to ride it out for sure on Monday for sure. And for inches here, again, 6 to 12. That's a high. I know that's a large range. We'll be able to narrow it down as we go through Saturday, and we'll have updates through this weekend. So I just encourage you. The reason for this to go on our fast channels, to go on social media, YouTube, Facebook, is to give you the latest information. We're saying, hey, it's 48 hours, a little over 48 hours now. So we're just giving you this update that, hey, this has changed. And this looks now, it's like it's more impactful. It's still a little too early to know exactly what we're watching, but I can tell you right now, those impacts will likely be felt. And as we go through this weekend, we are going to be able to really fine tune this forecast and give you updates. So that's why it's important to keep it here. We'll have updates on our Facebook, our YouTube, on air, online, all weekend long, tonight, tomorrow morning, Saturday night, Sunday morning, all up ahead of this system. So it's just important to know the latest data. And if you always want the latest information, we are pushing that to our app and to our website and to our on-air elements every single time an update comes out. So we will continue to update you there. So again, thank you all so much for joining us today. It's been an interesting day tracking this for you because all of a sudden we're seeing a lot of consensus that we didn't really see yesterday. And the consensus is that it would be very impactful. Can things still change? Absolutely. But we want to give you the most up-to-date information as far in advance as we can so that you can plan. But so this is just your warning to just keep an eye on the forecast. It can maybe, make some arrangements now. And if anything changes, we will be the first to let you know through this weekend on social media, on air, and online. I personally am not a big fan of another snowstorm, to be quite honest with you. I don't know if you all feel the same way, but it's our job to keep you as updated as possible. And we will absolutely do that in the best way that we can. So thank you all again. We'll have updates for you tonight, tomorrow, through Sunday, again, on air, online, on social media, wherever you get us. So thank you again. Have a great weekend. Remember, this would start up by Sunday in the afternoon and evening hours here with the highest impacts on Monday. So we'll keep you updated as it gets closer. Have a great weekend.